Welcome back to eSIM Studios. My name is Taylor Bell. I want to go over a couple of steps that users can perform on their Samsung Galaxy device if you continually have the battery draining bug. Many of you know, and even if you don't, but a few months ago, Samsung put out a monthly security patch update, and in that update, or the One UI 8.5 update that went out to older Galaxy devices such as the S25 series, S24 series, even the S23 series. Well, within that update, it activated, unknowingly on Samsung's part, a battery drain bug. And this might be the worst battery drain bug that I can remember. I put a short out. I'm going to link this video down below so you can watch it. It explains everything, so I'm not going to waste your time explaining it, but in this video I'm going to show you the steps you can take on your device if you still have this battery drain bug. Now, the battery drain was activated by two services running in the background, which is Knox Matrix and the mobile services. It would continually update in the background, and it would not stop. And that's what would essentially drain your battery. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is walk you through how to mitigate that battery drain in your device. Now, I have the S26 Ultra. I don't have the battery drain bug on here, but the operating system, the settings are the same on previous older devices, so you can just follow along with me, and I'll show you how to do it. Now, after I show you how to mitigate the current battery drain bug, I'm going to go through some other steps you can take to maximize your battery life. But in that battery drain bug, it did say it was the Knox Matrix and mobile services. What you're going to want to do is go to your settings app, and you want to find that Knox Matrix in your settings. So scroll down to apps. Then up here, you're going to type in Knox Matrix. Boom, right here. So we're going to select that. Now, as I mentioned before, it's continually running in the background. It will not stop. Sort of like this stupid T-Mobile notification. Golly. And what you're going to want to do is change a couple of these settings. And after you find Knox Matrix in the apps section of your settings app, what you're going to want to do is go down here to mobile data, and since mine is okay, meaning I don't have the drain bug on here, and I haven't even touched this, I just opened this up right now, so this is kind of how it came on this phone. Allow background data usage, allow data usage while data saver is on. You're gonna want to deactivate both of those right there, so it stops it from allowing it to use your background data, because this was the culprit of the battery drain bug. Now, what you can also do is go to storage, and after you modify those settings, what I want you to do is clear the cache, clear the data, and that'll essentially give it a fresh start. With the other one, the mobile services, now, this is a little more tricky. Now, what mobile services is doing in the background is continually updating. You might want to just try the Knox Matrix, modifying those settings, and then move forward. And then if you still think you can get a little better battery life, what I would do is mobile services. Here's what you're going to have to do, and this might take a few more minutes on your end, because you're going to have to modify it to your liking, meaning I'm going to show you what apps you don't want restricted in the background you're going to have to allow for usage. So what we're going to want to do is turn off sync. Yeah, I know, turn off sync. Turn off auto sync. So this will reduce data usage and conserve battery life, but you need to sync accounts manually to collect the most recent information. While this is off, you won't receive notifications about updates. So it'll stop syncing in the background, but you can allow certain apps to still sync in the background even with this turned off. So let's just say Gmail, right? If you need your Gmail, because it will not sync in the background with that option turned off. So what you can do is manually go to Gmail and allow it to sync. So what you're going to do is hit the information button on the top right. And in here, what you can do is go to, let's see, allow background data usage, and you're going to want to turn this on. Allow data usage while data saver is on. There you go there. That will allow it. If you go to battery, unrestricted, you can play with these, but I would leave it unrestricted and just set it in here for allow data usage while data saver is on. That'll let it sync in the background. That'll let it use data even when the data saver is off. And then you can go into here and you can essentially modify that to your liking, but that'll allow it to sync even when sync is off. So you can do this with each and every application that you depend on for your job, for your family. Your text messages will still come through, your phone calls will still come through, but actual apps will not sync unless you go in the back end and modify it just like I did right there. Now, moving on, hopefully that fixes your battery drain bug. The Knox Matrix was the single most battery draining bug in the phone, so that should work. Now, if there's a couple other things that I mentioned earlier that you can do to your phone to maximize battery life, well, there's some no-brainer things, and we're just going to run through them real quick. No need to waste time on these, but you can put it in light performance mode. So what this does is it reduces the power of your processor by 20%. So it caps it at like an 80% power usage from your processor. These are very strong processors, and reducing it will help save the battery, right? And what you're going to want to do is go into the light performance mode. And let me see if I can find it here. I don't think I have it in my settings because I typically, there it is, performance profile. So you can long press on this and it'll go straight to it. We're in standard mode. It uses 100% of the CPU. But if you put it into light mode, prioritizes battery life and cooling efficiency over processing speed. Activate that. That will help out on battery life. Now, what's the next thing you can do? Well, the next best thing you can do is put it in battery saver mode. So if you go down here and you put it in battery saver mode, if you find that setting right here, power saving, long press on that, and you can activate it by simply selecting it and highlighting it, but I'm just taking you directly to the settings to show you a little bit more. You can set this up. You can have standard, which stretches your battery to 9 hours. I'm on 57% battery life. That'll stretch it out 9 more hours, and maximum will stretch it out to 21 hours. Now, you can play with whatever, you can tweak it to your liking here, and essentially set it to how you want to here. Give you a ton of apps to tweak to your liking as far as this will limit all background activity. And going back to like what I said with Gmail application, you can essentially select what apps you want to bypass the maximum power saving, because what it's doing is shutting down all these apps and their services. But you can bypass that. You can allow certain apps to not be minimized by the maximum power saving mode. So you can go in and spend a few minutes and tweak whatever apps you want to allow to bypass that maximum battery saving mode. You can certainly do that as well. I'm going to leave it on standard. In fact, actually, I'm going to turn this off because I don't need it, but you can certainly do that, and it will save you a lot of power. Now, the next step you can do is enable adaptive power saving mode. So this is tucked inside the battery saving menu. It's adaptive power saving mode. So to get to that, you're going to hit the 3-dot menu inside the power saving menu. And to search for that and to find that, to locate that, simply go to your settings and just type in, you're going to go to your settings in the search bar, just type in adaptive power saving, and it'll pop up right here. You can go right to that, and now you can turn that on, turn power saving on and off automatically based on your usage patterns. Now let's move on to another one. You can here's another obvious one. You can lower your screen resolution. Now that's typically one of the easier ways. The more dense your pixels are, the more higher resolution, the more power it has to essentially power those pixels and emit light to it, which drains your battery. So to lower the screen resolution, you simply go to display, and then you can go to screen resolution. Mine's already on full HD plus. Honestly, I can't tell the difference between full HD and QHD, so that's why I just leave it on full HD. If you really, really want to save power, put it on HD plus. But when you put it on HD plus, I can visually tell the difference. It's just not as clear, so I just can't tell the difference between these two on the right. I typically leave it on here, but if you want to save power, put it on HD plus. If you go to your settings and then you type in adaptive battery, now that's on. I think I enabled that from the last one, but you can tweak it from right in here. Deep sleeping apps I have none, never auto sleeping apps, and you can tweak which ones you want to put in deep sleep and which ones you never want to go to into deep sleep. And deep sleep means they essentially shut down, shut off. So I'm going to leave that up to you because every phone is different. Each person, how they use their phone is different, right? Some people use it for their job. Some people use it just for personal. Some people use it for both. So depending on what apps you use the most, you're going to want to go in there and tweak those applications. Screen brightness, obviously, that's a no-brainer. The lower your screen brightness is, the less power it's going to use. The higher, the more bright your screen is like this, the more power it has to use. So if you can go throughout the day and see your phone just fine with just a little bit of power, just a little bit of brightness on, that's going to extend your battery life. Kind of a no-brainer. But if you do go to settings and connections, and here's another thing, is allowing scanning. So if you allow Bluetooth scanning and Wi-Fi scanning, it will continuously search for other Bluetooth devices and Wi-Fi devices to connect to transfer data, transfer files, stuff like that. So here's something else you can do is go into here, go into settings. Let me turn this back up and type in scanning. Right there. Bluetooth scanning down here. Improve accuracy. So turn these off. That will also improve your battery life. So Wi-Fi scanning, let apps use Wi-Fi for more accurate location detection even when Wi-Fi is off. Turn that off. And then Bluetooth scanning, let apps use Bluetooth for more accurate location detection even when Bluetooth is off. No, we don't. So those features turned off will also maximize your battery life. But hopefully the Knox Matrix setting in the very beginning of this video will help your battery usage, help extend your battery life while we wait for Samsung to push a fix out for the remaining devices, remaining models that still have this battery drain bug. I think they got about half of it fixed, half of the devices fixed, because I've seen more people say with the S25 series that they fixed it, but I've just gotten comments as of a day or two ago saying somebody has the S24, I can't remember, it was an S24 series device, still have the battery drain bug, and even for somebody with an S23 series device still has the battery drain bug. So maximize your battery life. Hopefully Samsung will push an update in the next month, in next month's security patch. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that will eliminate that battery drain bug. But try to do what you can in the meantime. Let me know if this makes a difference for you. And if you have any other battery drain fixes or tweaks inside the settings, comment down below. Let everybody know. Maybe I missed one. I'm sure I did. But if you got another tweak, put it down in the comments so people viewing this video can maximize their battery life, because there is nothing worse than a battery drain bug. Peace.